Lannies, my name is Jacksepticeye and welcome back to more quizzes. As I was browsing around and I was looking at the personality ones, one of them that came up that I was really interested in was an ADD quiz, which is attention deficit disorder, or ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And I've always wondered if I have it, because there's a lot of times when I'm doing something like I can't focus on a book, or I'll be doing something I get really distracted, or you've seen me play games. A lot of people say that I'm bad at games because I get distracted often. It's only because I'm like let's playing and I'm talking, and then I have a lot of thoughts going on and I start saying something and I get distracted and something happens in the game and then I forget to go back to what I was saying. So normally when I'm playing games I'm fine. But I thought that this would be fun. So what are the signs and what is ADD? Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder is somewhat difficult to diagnose. Why? Well, for one thing, the symptoms are common problems that everyone faces. We are all forgetful, distracted, restless, overwhelmed, and losing track of things now and then. So what makes you ADHD? And that's the thing, because I've always wondered if I have some mild form of it, or if it's just that thing that everybody has. Like, everyone's like, I have ADD because I forgot where I left my phone. It's like, that doesn't really make you ADD. It's a bit more than that. It's a bit of a broader, like, more complex thing. Broad and complex. I just said contradicting things in the same sentence. And I've never had it, like, professionally diagnosed, so I'm curious. What are the signs? Again, take this with a fucking massive pinch of salt, because this is just a random quiz online. Unlike being pregnant or being Belgian, ADHD is a matter of degree. When inattention, procrastination, overwhelm, and restlessness are constant frustrating problems that undermine many areas of your life, it's a disorder. Note, this quiz has been approved by 2 independent ADHD specialists. Oh. It will give you a sense of whether or not you have this mindset, but it will not replace a proper assessment by a doctor who understands ADHD. This quiz is not intended to give you a definitive medical diagnosis. Understand? I think I understand, so let's get to it. Does not give close attention to detail, makes careless mistakes. Do you make small mistakes in your work? Do you skim read or rush things? Oh. Do you mess up dates or get numbers wrong, fail to notice typos, often overlook details in filling out forms, or forget to add attachments to emails? Okay, so sometimes I do skim read and I do rush some things a lot of the time. But if I'm doing something with writing, I will notice my typos. And I don't get dates and numbers wrong. I'm actually pretty fucking good at those. So, no. I wouldn't say so. I'd say there's more no than yes there. Because whenever it comes to numbers or dates or anything like that, well, I don't have an eidetic memory, but I have a pretty good memory, especially like recalling stuff that's happened. Do you find it difficult to stick with things, even leisure activities? Do you get distracted, perhaps going off to do something else, or do you end up doing several things at once? I think this is just the internet age. I think that's what we do. We go to do stuff here and we procrastinate. Do you struggle following through on longer, complex tasks? Perhaps shorter deadlines work better for you. Yeah, yes, if any of them do. Not just if all of these go through, but if any of them do. Yeah. Shorter deadlines work better for me, because the longer something drags out, I either lose interest or I can't put my complete focus into it. I get a lot of shit done, but it's more short focus. It's like I get so much shit done every single day, but it's all like, yeah, by the end of the day, that's it. It's done. Powerful. Video is done. Everything. Do you seem to get distracted during conversations? Do you tune out or zone out? Uh-oh. You're looking right at someone, but you're lost in thought or distracted by video screen. No. Okay. Your mind often wanders, jumping around and missing what's being said. That depends on the conversation. If it's something that doesn't interest me, then of course my mind's going to wander. That's the way everybody does. If somebody's talking to you about fucking taxes, you're just kind of sitting there going, huh? Sure? Uh-huh. But if somebody's telling you something really interesting, like if I'm talking to my friends, I usually am very, very attentive because I like listening to what they have to say, and because I hate when I'm talking to somebody and it looks like they're not listening. I hate that so much. So whenever somebody's talking to me, I make sure like they know that I'm listening to what they're saying. So your mind often wanders. So no. Well, I don't know. You may often lose track of what you're saying, go off on tangents. Okay, yes. When it comes to friends, I'm very attentive in conversations, but some other conversations, I kind of zone out, especially businessy ones. And I do go off on tangents. You've seen me play games. You've seen me go off on tangents and start saying something and then get completely distracted by something in the game and then forget what I was talking about. I almost did it just now. Jesus. Doesn't follow instructions and fail to finish. You don't bother to read instructions. You don't follow regular routines. Even in getting ready for work, you struggle to stick to a schedule or plan. No. I stick to a plan all the time because the way YouTube has me set up is that everything is scheduled, everything is regimented, everything is very strict, because if I don't do things strictly and if I don't do things on schedule, then the whole of my YouTube channel gets messed up. I start missing videos, I start missing upload times, and you guys know me, consistency is key when it comes to YouTube. It's the exact same time every day, 2 videos all the time, and I try not to miss that. So I'm very regimented in that you're not being obstinate, you know what to do, but you just don't do it. Lots of things started, lots on the go, but not much finished. Okay, so when it comes to YouTube, I am hugely passionate about it, so everything is on track. But when it comes to other things, sometimes it does spiral out of control. But I do like to start stuff, I do like to finish stuff that I start. So that's the thing, I'm not really doing a whole lot. No. Do you have trouble organizing your schedule at work, social events, or hobbies? Do you create long to-do lists that you then find overwhelming? No, I don't. Does planning a big project, even a fun vacation, feel daunting? No. Avoiding tasks that require sustained mental effort. Oh. Do you struggle to finish things that require a lot of concentration over a long period of time, even things you enjoy? Okay, no, if it's things I enjoy, no, I love doing them. Yet other times you get in the zone and hyper-focus. Do you avoid routine tasks that feel monotonous, repetitive, or boring? See, this is different. Even things you enjoy are feeling monotonous, repetitive, or boring. No, if it's something I enjoy, I get fucking stuck in. Again, the YouTube example. But if it's something that's monotonous, repetitive, or boring, no, I usually give up. Dread paperwork? Yes. Cannot find your phone, keys, purse, or glasses. You often misplace TV remote, tool. If I had it in my hand a minute ago, you often misplace important paperwork or can't find something you just bought. Yeah. Easily distracted. That's a fucking yes already. Does your attention get pulled away by noises outside your window, conversations, or something happening across the room? You're often distracted by your own thoughts or conversations. Oh god, yeah. That's a thing that I can't even sleep sometimes because my brain makes up its own conversations. Or my thoughts are just a million miles an hour and I just can't switch off and go to sleep. It's so annoying. You can zone out and get lost in thought, imagining situations and conversation. Yeah. Forgetful. You often lose track of what you were supposed to be doing or forget what you've done already. You forget to pack something and have to go back. You're terrible with names. No. I'm really good with names. Because I go to a lot of conventions and I meet a lot of people. And a lot of people, like, if you go to a set for something, or if you go to a shoot for something, or like a live stream or something, there's usually a lot of people working there, like engineers and staff and everything. And usually if I'm told their name, I remember it fairly well. You often lose track. No. Submit. Are you totally ADD? Go to part 2. That's the 9 inattention symptoms. You finished part 1. Your total is 5 out of 9. A score of 5 or higher suggests inattention is a problem for you. Fuck! I'm inattentive! While most people struggle with some of these symptoms, that doesn't mean they have ADHD. They could be stressed by major life events or any number of medical issues. But your score suggests that a full assessment by a specialist who understands ADHD might be in order. Oh, that didn't help anything. Let's take a closer look at hyperactivity then. Since part 1 didn't really give me a definitive answer, so maybe part 2 will. Physically restless and fidgety. Do you grow fidgety during meetings, classes, or church? Oh god, yeah. Whenever I have like meetings with, like, whenever I have to do like businessy meeting type things for YouTube, I'm always sitting there and I'm like biting my nails or picking at the skin on my fingers or like playing with my beard or something. I always have to fidget at stuff. Do you feel the need to get up and move? Do you pace while you're on the phone? Oh yeah, I do. Wish you could pace during meetings? Well, I don't have like many meetings. Do you walk faster than others and have to wait for them? Yep. Like to be in action on the move? Okay, yeah. That's me. Restless. Are you impatient or agitated when things are quiet? Not really. Do you feel rushed, pressured, or driven even doing something that isn't urgent? Have you had frequent job changes or move frequently? No. When the time comes, I can usually sit back, relax, and like play a game or watch a movie or something like that. So I don't get agitated when things are quiet. I get agitated when I know something needs to be done and I'm sitting down and things are quiet. Difficulty enjoying leisure activities quietly. Well, I guess this would be that then. You find it hard to relax or work quietly. Small talk is boring. I fucking hate small talk. If you come up and ask me about the weather, I'm just going to be like, ah! You always have to be trying new things or changing them up. You're always pushing the envelope, tweaking and adjusting. What if we do it this way instead? Do you find yourself stirring things up and teasing? No, that's not really me. Sometimes I have trouble like sitting down and relaxing if I know something needs to be done. Like I know a video needs to be done, or if I know something needs to be added to a video, or a video is not good enough and I feel like I have to go re-record it or something like that. Then I have a problem, but otherwise, nah. Always on the go and driven. Does it often seem like you're always on the go or driven by a motor? Are you drawn to one hobby or obsession after another? You have more stamina and enthusiasm than anyone else if it's something you find interesting. You dive in whole hog like a whirling dervish. Yep, that's me. I'm the one that never stops going and everyone gets annoyed at me. It's like the end of a convention and everyone's like, oh yeah, can't wait to go home and go to sleep. And I'm like, no, come on. Let's all go out to an arcade and play games together. Not rude, but talkative. You always have lots to say. Oh god. But you're not so great at listening. I'm pretty good at listening. You could be an enthusiastic chatterbox who just can't stop. Oh, we all know that that's true. If someone else tries to speak, do you get louder because you feel pressured to get it out? No. I'm usually fairly respectful if other people are talking. There are times when I'm talking and I talk too much and other people need to get words in and I forget what I'm saying. Or I forget that I'm talking too much. But otherwise, I'm usually pretty good at listening. So, feel pressure to get out? No. Blurting out. Oh, this used to be oh wait, congrats. You've completed the questions on hyperactivity. Just 3 more to go exploring impulsivity. Okay. Are you full of ideas? Your mind jumps and races ahead. You don't sit quietly and consider, but immediately offer one idea or opinion after another. Yeah. This used to get me in trouble a lot when I was in school because I would just blurt something out and then the teacher would catch me saying something awful. Like, I wouldn't think about it, I would just blurt it out. I've gotten a lot better at that, but you can see it in when I play games, like playing No Man's Sky, and I was like, oh, I haven't been in a solar system with a sun before. It's like, solar system with a sun before? But in my head it makes sense, like I haven't been to a solar system in the game where I could so clearly see the sun beside the planets, was what I was trying to say, but I just blurted it out and didn't think. And a lot of people hold that against me, like, man, Jack, you could be really dumb sometimes. I'm like, no, I'm a pretty smart dude, just at a lot of different things. I just blurt out what comes to mind first instead of sitting down and trying to, because I'm not the type of person to sit and think and be like, okay, what way can I say this that makes me sound the smartest? I just say stuff and if it makes me sound dumb, I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not what I meant. And then I clarify, and sometimes people think I'm dumb, but I'm not. I'm smart at a lot of things. It's just that I don't make it obviously apparent all the time because, I don't know, I don't like doing that. I don't like making myself try and seem smart and then trying to put down other people or make comparisons or anything like that. Like, my smartness will show if it needs to show, if it comes into action. But normally I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, I say dumb shit all the time. And then, I don't know, it gives a false perception of who I actually am, I think, to a lot of people. You may seem impatient or dominating, always adding your 2 cents, having to contribute your ideas, and you have lots of them. I do have lots of ideas and I do like contributing, but not in a way that feels dominating. I don't know. You're instantly enthusiastic. I know a lot of people who are dominating. I have friends who are very dominating. And if they need to say something, I just kind of like sit back and let them go. And then I'll add my thoughts, but I don't try and like dictate a conversation. You're instantly enthusiastic and interested in new challenges. You say yes to everything. Not all of these may resonate, but if you if I answer yes to any of them. I didn't answer yes to this, but the first and third one. Okay, almost there. Waiting your turn is frustrating. Hate lineups or waiting for other people to arrive? No, because I'm Irish. Like the Brits, the UK people, it's fucking waiting is built in. I probably should read the rest of these. But I feel like, whatever. Do you interrupt or intrude on others? Do you interrupt, chime in, or intrude into other people's conversations? Do you feel the need to top someone's story or add your 2 cents Do you always have an opinion? Or an idea you feel you need to share? Answer yes if these are familiar challenges. Perhaps you don't see it, but others have mentioned it to you. Sometimes I do interrupt, and sometimes I do cut people off. Not in a bad way. It's usually just I don't realize that it's after happening. If someone calls me on it, I'm like, oh God, sorry, yeah, continue, please. And it doesn't happen that often. But I don't feel the need to top people's story. Usually I have something that I can add to it. And if that feels like topping a story, I clarify that that's not my intention. So... No. I don't think so. Okay. Don't tell me there's a part 3. Your total hyperactivity impulse 4 out of 9. For hyperactivity and impulsivity, the threshold is 5 or more. So I don't! Well, I don't know yet because I haven't actually answered... Like, I didn't get a full assessment from someone, and some of them I was like, I don't know. So 1 or 2 more of them answered a different way could have given me 5 or 6, and then I would have been. Some people have argued that 5 is too high a threshold. By adulthood, you may have developed strategies to manage some of your challenges. If you said yes to 3 or 4 symptoms, but they are truly sabotaging your life, it's worth seeking a diagnosis. Yeah, so a lot of these things, you could have answered yes to them, and they could have been completely crippling to your type of personality, and then you could have answered no to the rest of them. But, like... 3 or 4 of those that are like really ingrained in your life and are really affecting your life, that could be a bigger deal than what this quiz could let on. If you scored 4 or less in part 2 of this quiz, this suggests that you may not have the type of... Okay, so I don't have that. But since you scored 5 or more in part 1 of this quiz, which means you may qualify as having the predominantly inattentive subtype of ADHD, sometimes called ADD. Yeah, so that's what I always kind of figured, that I had some mild form of ADD, but I wasn't full-blown ADHD. You may be quieter, daydreamy, lost in thought. This type of ADHD, ADD is often missed. Instead, teachers, family, and colleagues focused on the disruptive, hyperactive kids and dismissed you as being flaky, a daydreamer, or not very bright. Intelligence and creativity may be high, but you struggle. I think that would probably... As much as I would love to say that I'm this fantastic person who's super smart and intelligent and so great, it's not the case. We're all human. We all have our flaws, and I'm not above being able to call out my own flaws. I am intelligent and I am creative in my own ways. It's not always completely apparent straight off the bat. Like when it comes to computer stuff and it comes to video gaming stuff, like I can talk about the mechanics of video games. I can talk about narratives, I can talk about pacing, I can talk about movies all day and really know what I'm talking about. But when it comes to like logic puzzles or math and stuff like that, my brain kind of lets me down because I get distracted and I want to kind of get it over with because it starts making me feel paranoid and insecure because I'm like, oh God, it's making me feel dumb, it's making me look dumb. And that's what always bothers me when it comes to YouTube as well, because especially with games, some people figure stuff out faster than others, and that's fine. But when it comes to YouTube Let's Plays, then people start coming into the comments like, Jack, you're so fucking dumb. How did you not get this so quick? And I'm like, I'm sorry that I didn't get it as fast as some people. And again, Let's Playing, like, completely divides your attention in so many different ways. You have to wonder about how long you're recording, how attentive your audience are, how boring your video might be, so you have to, like, speed things up. You have to wonder about what's actually going on in the game. You have to remember what's going on. You have to remember to talk. You have to remember to address the audience. You have to remember all these different types of things. So it's not the same as just playing a game. And then, like, when it comes to, like I build my own computers, I know a lot about how computers work. Not like how to make a processor or anything like that. But I know the ins and outs of electronics. And I know the ins and outs of software. I know sound engineering. I know a lot of that stuff. So it doesn't often become apparent in my videos or what I'm doing or in day-to-day life. It's very niche stuff that I'm smart at. So again, a lot of people can dismiss me as flaky or a daydreamer or not smart, but I'm smart in my own ways. And I will fight for that as well. So, but it's also a case if people say that I'm dumb, it's like sometimes it gets to me, especially when comparisons are made. But normally I'm just like, you know what? Who cares? If people like to see me as just a yelly, shouty, happy-go-lucky dude who's always just trying to find a smile and something, then that's fine. At the end of the day, I know who I am, and that's all that matters. It doesn't really matter what other people think, but sometimes I kind of have to fight for the fact that I'm like, no, that's not how I am. So I don't know. I guess I kind of learned some stuff in this, and it's nice to be able to just sit down and do something like this and talk and get some thoughts out there. I really like that. I'm glad I did this video. Anyway, I'll leave a link in the description for this one as well, so you guys can tell me what score you got out of 9, or if you even had to go on to part 2. I think everybody might have to go on to part 2. I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, punch that like button in the face like a boss, and high fives all road. Whoosh, whoosh. Well, thank you guys, and I will see all you dudes in the video. What is this? Well, while we're on the topic of me and cringe, everyone was saying that I should have done that, but this game is also being very deceitful. So I don't know if I should have done that. I just realized as well that sometimes when I'm recording and I see my phone light up, I'm completely distracted by it. Oh. Top of the morning to you, laddies. My name is Jacksepticeye, and welcome back to more quizzes. As I was browsing around and I was looking at the personality ones, one of them that came up that I was really interested in was an ADD quiz, which is attention deficit disorder, or ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And I've always wondered if I have it, because there's a lot of times when I'm doing something like I can't focus on a book, or I'll be doing something I get really distracted, or you've seen me play games. A lot of people say that I'm bad at games because I get distracted often. It's only because I'm like let's playing and I'm talking, and then I have a lot of thoughts going on and I start saying something and I get distracted and something happens in the game and then I forget to go back to what I was saying. So normally when I'm playing games I'm fine. But I thought that this would be fun. So what are the signs and what is ADD? Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder is somewhat difficult to diagnose. Why? Well, for one thing, the symptoms are common problems that everyone faces. We are all forgetful, distracted, restless, overwhelmed, and losing track of things. This with a fucking massive pinch of salt, because this is just a random quiz online. Unlike being pregnant or being Belgian, ADHD is a matter of degree. When inattention, procrastination, overwhelm, and restlessness are constant frustrating problems that undermine many areas of your life, it's a disorder. Note, this quiz has been approved by 2 independent ADHD specialists. Oh. It will give you a sense of whether or not you have this mindset, but it will not replace a proper assessment by a doctor who understands ADHD. This quiz is not intended to give you a definitive medical diagnosis. Understand? I think I understand, so let's get to it. Does not give close attention to detail, makes careless mistakes. Do you make small mistakes in your work? Do you skim read or rush things? Oh. Do you mess up dates or get numbers wrong, fail to notice typos, often overlook details in filling out forms, or forget to add attachments to emails? Okay, so sometimes I do skim read and I do rush something now and then. So what makes you ADHD? And that's the thing, because I've always wondered if I have some mild form of it, or if it's just that thing that everybody has. Like, everyone's like, I have ADD because I forgot where I left my phone. It's like, that doesn't really make you ADD. It's a bit more than that. It's a bit of a broader, like, more complex thing. Broad and complex. I just said contradicting things in the same sentence. And I've never had it, like, professionally diagnosed, so I'm curious. What are the signs? Again, take